the pitch is Luke toward shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. That is pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Boston radio personality Lou Blasi.
Louie, baby, how are ya?
Doing very well. How are we doing today?
Good. Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show. Tom Zapp, my co-host and producer, sweet Lou Blasi, and we have a great show today. Guy on the right, what were you eating, Danny? A bagel?
A zucchini bread.
Really?
Nice.
Something pretty healthy with coffee that is called, it's a bulletproof coffee.
The hell is a bulletproof coffee?
Look it up later on. It's made with like grass-fed butter, and it's got this oil in it that's like Adderall, and I've never taken Adderall, but it helps me. It helps me focus a little bit better, but it's all natural. This is all natural, MC-free oil, and then a couple shots of espresso. So I am raring.
Sounds to me like a diuretic.
Well, I'll be at 9:30. I have a meeting with the bathroom.
It was prescribed to you.
We're going to say hi. Eric Wagenberger from
Wagon Maker.
Wagon Maker. I'm sorry. Wagon Maker.
That's okay.
I've
been called it all.
Wars, right. Reclaimcards.com. But Lou, I got to tell you, man, Roman is back, baby. Did you see what he did last night?
I saw what he did last night. I'm excited.
I tell you what, Roman is going to be back, I would say, in probably 3 weeks, Louis. What do you think?
Oh, I'm hoping this before that. But
he hit a bomb last night for the AA team. Hit a bomb. That was a rocket.
And you believe that kid, Joshua?
Let me tell you something about him. Let me tell you something. Okay.
No, please tell me.
Okay. Great. I mean, you're never going to see anything like that again. All right. Since that third home run,
I believe
he's 0 for 17.
I believe it. Yeah, I knew he would have like a 212.
He's 0 for 17.
Help me out. Who is the Cub guy who hit 3 homers on opening day one day? And
that's
never heard from him again. Basically, this is going back years.
Oh,
has a
I don't
T in
remember.
it. Someone write in the comments. Help me out.
Sounds like Chris Shelton on the Tigers a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
No, he's a good prospect, but that was a big debut. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's 0 for 17, back down to earth, and that's okay. That's okay. But anyways,
pitch to him.
Of course. Well, listen, we have a good show today. We asked Eric to come on because everybody knows we've been talking. We've talked about this quite a bit over, I don't know, the last many shows. One of ones. And, there are several schools of thought to what one of ones is all about. Manufacturers, using Topps as an example, they create chase cards. And chase cards, they can be worth a lot of money, heck of a lot of money. So
Did you mute yourself out, Tommy?
Yeah, I think I lost your audio.
Well, tell us. Well, Eric, why don't you give us your definition of chase cards? Tell me about and I want to know. I'm particularly curious how you just arrived at this point where I'm going to start this business. This is what I'm going to do. I want to know about that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. When I think of chase cards, perceived rarity and actual rarity, that wrestling match in my mind comes to the forefront of my brain. I think a lot of the manufacturers, they put in these chase cards, they have all these different variations. There's out of 10s and there's out of 25s and out of 75s. And there's just thousands of these chase cards that you could get. But what we do is we customize trading cards essentially, and these custom pieces. People send us, our customers send us, whether it's an autograph, cut autograph, or a game used relic, or both, combination of those things, and we customize our pieces around it. So it is a true museum piece, a true work of art. So kind of stumbled upon it about 5 or 6 years ago, and the short version is I made a couple cards, and my kids, they wanted me to make them some cards, so I did. I posted them online and immediately started getting orders, and it just kind of took off from there. So that's the short version of the story. But
have you got any threatening notes or emails or letters from the other card companies?
I got a love letter from Upper Deck.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're back, Tom.
Okay.
I got a love letter from Upper Deck when I posted a Jordan piece I did. They're really protective of Jordan, so
yeah.
So we don't do that. We don't do Jordans anymore. But yeah. But other than that, no. I mean, everything is one-off art. I mean, most of what we do is one-off art. If we're doing mass production, it's through NIL deals or colleges, institutions, people we have permission from.
Now, we talked about this before we went on the air, Eric. Not necessarily relegated to just sports cards, correct?
No, it's not just sports. So
if I have, I don't know, an Abraham Lincoln signature that I picked up at an auction or at whatever, you could slab that for me, and I have my 1-of-1. Correct?
Yeah. Well, we would make a custom piece for you, and then we could get it slabbed. So yeah, we do anything, whether it's historical figures, authors, entertainment. We just, one of our clients is Luke Combs. He's one of the biggest country music stars out there. So yeah, we do it all. We have some cool projects that we've been able to do.
So can you do, or do you do multi copies of a certain item? Let's say, using Luke Combs as an example, okay? Does he say, okay, I want you to make 50 of these for me so I can use them, hand them out, or do whatever I want to do with them? So you can do multiple quantities?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We did this last spring, we did 100 relic cards for Luke. He wanted them serial numbered out of 100. And he sent us a couple of his stage worn shirts. He wears that black Columbia fishing shirt in almost every show he does. And so he sent us a couple of those, and we made him 100 relic cards, and now he signs those and he gives them out to fans and people he crosses paths with.
All right. So what about, I don't know, let's use our own Roman Anthony as an example. Now, Roman Anthony, there's a million Roman Anthony rookie cards. Okay. So there are rookie cards and there are rookie cards. So if Roman Anthony approached you and said, Eric, I want you to make one card, wouldn't that be considered, Dan, the true Roman Anthony kind of 1-of-1 rookie card, since all these other ones already exist?
I think they're more, it's two different worlds. It's a custom world, and it's cards that are produced, by the card companies. And I think, there have been times, there's other companies right now that are coming out with, that have had like those bar cards and everything.
Yeah.
And you can, get them through rips and stuff like that. But I think I wouldn't say it's his true 1-of-1, because his cards have already been produced and they've already come out of packs. But for this case, the reason why I love Eric's work is because, yeah, everything is a true 1-of-1. If Roman Anthony wants to get a 1-of-1, and yeah, it's going to say 1-of-1 on there. But I think it's tough to compare the card companies and Eric's work. It's just a different cup of tea. Eric's more art/realism, and then the card companies are just churning out millions of 101s, where, Eric's more like concentrated on the specifics. And one thing I love that Eric has done that you have to see, and you could talk to him about this, it's not just the size of that card. He did like a 16x20 foil piece that was insane, that had like all the cuts from, what was it, the 500 home run hitters? Or
it was every pitcher that Babe Ruth hit a significant home run off of, whether it was his 500th, whether it was the called shot, We had a Babe Ruth autograph on the front side and the back side, were all these, notable home runs that he hit throughout his career, the pitchers that he faced on those notable home runs. So it was a double-sided, huge piece. It was beautiful. Yeah, I think you're right. 16 by 20. Yep.
Well, so let me ask you this question: If I have a really cool Type 1 Babe Ruth photo, and it's authenticated, I have it authenticated, PSA or whoever authenticates it, and I don't want it in that PSA slab or that Beckett slab, I can send that to you, and you can slab the Type 1 photo maybe on the front and the authentication on the back or something like that. So I have a really kind of a cool custom piece.
That's
correct?
Interesting. That's an interesting idea.
We could do that. And we could also do something for you to where you wouldn't even have to send it to us. We could.
Yeah, if Dan, if you have, like a piece like that. All right, using Beckett as an example. You're going to get that back in a Beckett slab, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And if it's authenticated, as long as it's authenticated and you have that in a really cool looking custom slab, that's not gonna devalue the photo, correct?
But it would be a custom card, and you'd have the LOA that you could put in your back pocket or in your safe, and then Eric brings that photo to life. You pop it out of the holder, or you just request when you're sending in for Type 1 photos, you just request, an LOA and not have it slab. And then he would put it in there, make that gold foil, make the front. And on the back, he does this write-up that's crazy, like it's a regular card, just a regular card.
Very cool.
And it can be any size. That's the crazy part. I wish you had a picture of that, the one you did with Ruth. And you could put a cut autograph of Ruth under that Type 1 photo.
Eric, do you have a couple of examples that you can show us?
Yeah, I do. I do have something. This is it's kind of a jumbo piece. This is more of a booklet. But this is a piece we just finished up. That's Kobe Bryant. That's a high school autograph. He signed at number 33. So it's when he was at Marion High School. This is, we only work with autographs that have been authenticated by either JSA, PSA, or Beckett Authentication.
That's good.
If it's another third-party authentication company, it's got to be one that's highly reputable. We also work with Goat Authentics for certain pieces. They work with Gretzky and.
All right, so the customer for that piece. What does he have to do?
Look at the back.
Look at that.
Oh, very cool.
Shot of him in high school.
Very cool. Very cool. So
that's got red foiling on it.
So the owner of that piece just has to hold on to the authentication, the LOA, correct?
He can do that, but this is actually getting sent to Beckett. We have a partnership with Beckett Authentication.
Oh,
where they'll put Reclaim Customs right on the label and authenticate the autographs.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So that'll be slabbed in a Beckett holder, but he still has his JSA letter with that as well. So it's actually dual authenticated, but the issue is the sticker was on the back side of that autograph. So we covered it. So he really, technically, he needs another way of authenticating this now, which Beckett will.
What about price points? Obviously, your price points must kind of be all over the place depending on the size of the item and how sophisticated one gets. What do you do? What do you give people a quote? How does it work?
Yeah, so we have a frequently asked questions page on our website, which is, we keep editing that because we always get thrown curveball questions like, well, we should probably cover that on our website too. But no, like here's a non-sports one. This is one we did of Madonna. It's got pink foiling.
Look at that.
Very cool.
But so a cut autograph card starts at $175. But the foiling or the textured foiling, those are bells and whistles that add to the price.
Those are add-ons.
So we have our minimum order is $450. So you have to spend $450 to get us to go to work for you. So it's usually best to join a couple projects together and send those into us, or build it out to where it's going to be a real exquisite piece. So we've kind of put ourselves in a position to where we want to just do more of the premium pieces. We really want there to be a rarity to what we do. Because we've kind of been, we have a name and a reputation now that is a little more prestigious, which I'm so thankful for. People look to us as one of the one of the leading experts on doing this type of work.
Yeah.
We're also trying to look for partnerships with, teams, colleges, organizations where we can do bigger, like bulk orders with them too. We're really trying to align ourselves with more projects like that and relationships like that, partnerships like
even
that.
Building an award, like having him do, having you do something like the Heisman Trophy winner, and then when he gets his Heisman Trophy or gets something after the fact, he also gets like a custom card. I mean, it's just such a great keepsake.
There's a lot of you can go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, speaking of prestige, what is the most prestigious project you've ever worked with?
Well, it's funny you say that. I have something right here to show you guys. We had somebody reach out to us with these game used Babe Ruth pinstripe pants relics. The remainder of these pants are actually currently on auction with Heritage. And you'll see, if you go to the lot, you'll see one of the pant legs has been cut up. And this particular person inherited this pair of pants that she came to me and she wanted to do a few cards. She's like, this is really frayed at the bottom. We'll just cut you off like a few inches at the bottom, send the rest to Heritage. Let's make a few custom pieces. So we're in the middle of that project right now. So it's all photo matched. It's documented. The photo matching is incredible. The process and how they go.
So you'll do more than one item because, I don't know. Remember we mentioned this Steve Lane, our good friend Steve Lane, called me up and said, "Hey, look he's got netting from Yankee Stadium when they tore down the old Yankee Stadium." He says, "I have netting. I'd like to do something with those cards and the netting." Right?
Great idea. The great idea.
Yeah, I mean he's got a bunch of it sitting in his. I don't know where it's sitting, but
we can embed anything. I mean, you send us a NASCAR tire, we'll figure out a way to embed it.
Yeah,
even the sky's the limit.
With the netting, what he could do is the roster. He could do the starting 9. And do it out of a.
This is. I think this was over a period of years. So this was the netting. I'm not sure how many years. This is the netting that sat there for years and years and years and years. I don't know from what year. I think when did they tear down Yankee Stadium?
70, 71.
So it was everything. Maybe it was everything from up to 71. I don't know. So but he's got netting sitting around his house. So.
And what I love also what Eric does, again, go back to, it's the size is no limit, as far as doing an 8x10, doing a 5x7, and doing a regular size card. Look
Very
at that.
cool.
A lure.
Look at that. Oh, wow.
That is
very cool.
Yep. So,
Holy cow.
Former Detroit Lions All-Pro Herman Moore is a business partner of mine. And we did a little fishing trip together. So I made that for my dad because he was on that trip with us. So
very cool.
Awesome.
Good.
And you did
cool
something
stuff.
with Barry Sanders.
Yeah. We met up with Barry at the PSA set registry awards banquet. We got to make a couple pieces.
Were you at the National this year, Eric?
I'm there every year, Tom.
Oh man, I wish I would have done. Because we did a broadcast from there.
Let's connect next year.
Yeah. Next year we'll definitely we'll chat with you, get you up there.
Eric, if you still have a couple minutes, and I want to put this to Dan and you, Eric, because the whole Babe Ruth thing kind of fascinates me. It was where I was going with the question anyway. You have this asset in the Babe Ruth worn pants. You cut it up a little bit, you put it in some cards and resell the cards. Dan, economically, this is a boon, isn't it, for a lot of these things? How much do you detract from the pants by cutting off some of them? I guess is my question.
I don't think it detracts from that because someone's going to bid for those because they're photo matched no matter what. You can fold up that side and you can match the other side with it and frame them up as pants if you want. But I think at that point, 99% of the pants are there. Now, I was interviewed many years ago by SCD when they wanted to cut up Babe Ruth's bat, and you could make 1 million cards with little chips. The great part is that they just cut up a little piece. They didn't destroy the history of it. It's photo matched. It's going to go out to someone. I don't think it's going to, I think it's going to get, top dollar for the pants. And let's just say the pants go for $500,000. I don't even know what they're at or what the minimum bid. let's say they go for $500,000. Now that's going to put the price on the cards. It's going to raise the value of the cards with, say, a cut autograph of Babe Ruth. But that's totally going to help all these one-of-ones because each one is a different piece.
Yep. Every one will be different.
All right, Eric. So how can people get in touch with you? This is really cool. You got a great business model here. I think you're going to do very well. I think you're already doing very well. But how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Reclaimcards.com. You can just Google search Reclaim Customs as well. All of our work is on our Instagram at Reclaim Customs. We have a YouTube page that is kind of like a behind the scenes look and documenting like how we do a lot of this stuff is really fascinating. If you go to our YouTube, everything is at Reclaim Customs on social media, and our website is reclaimcards.com.
Louis, we have Rico's bat when he went 0 for 32.
Chop it up.
That'd be fun.
We may be able to do something with that.
You do 32 versions. 1 of 32, 2 of 32.
All right, listen, we're going to take thanks so much. We appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you so
Eric.
much for having me, guys.
We're going to take a quick break. We come back. Danny's going to be with us for the rest of the show. We've got a lot to talk about. We got their auction coming up. We're going to talk about the National. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back. And Danny Boy, Dan Wulkin, former child star.
Child star was just 6 years ago.
Well, I mean, you were a child then.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's funny because I still watch. I get these reels, and I still watch every once in a while. A Pawn Stars will show up with you, and I enjoy watching them. You did some great stuff for that show. You really did.
Thank you. Yeah, I get like the reels. People see them all the time, and they send them to me, and it's exciting. I have a handful that are the best of, like the
really
all-time best.
Do people recognize you still from
at the show, at any show? But on the street, it does happen. It happened when we were in Detroit going to a Tigers game, and I was outside, and the security guard, I went to ask him a question, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I know you." And it happens like once every 450 days.
What about Rick? Do you see Rick much? Or you keep in touch with him? Have you lost touch with him?
I don't really keep in touch with any of them, but they do send me referrals, which is really, it's nice of them.
Nice.
They still send referrals over, and it's pretty cool because their store will be there forever.
That show is addictive. It
really is.
It's fascinating. You don't think you're going to get interested, and then you get just sucked in.
And then I mean, there is some of the stuff, man. I mean, people walk in with, and I know a lot of it is probably a little pre-planned, but there's just some cool stuff that they handle. So
it is. And you know what else is a great show that I literally just got hooked on? Even Sabrina and I were watching it. Filthy Fortunes on Discovery Channel. It's incredible about this guy that does cleanouts, and he says it's going to cost. He assesses the whole clean out of these hoarders, says it's going to cost $5,000, $10,000. And then he does a split with them after they sell everything. And he'll do a 50-50, a 60-40, a 75-25 split. But he gets paid for the clean out, and then they split the profit. And they're finding a lot of sports stuff. Kevin Keating has been on that show.
Oh, really?
George, who's one of the head authenticators for PSA, he's been on the show. A lot of guys that I recognize, and they just asked me to do some episodes of that show. So it's
good for you.
But that hooks us in. It hooks you in.
Hey, listen, before we get into Dan and the auction and some of the stuff, I want to take a minute to tell you guys about this, the series of award-winning books that we've written over the years. Ellen and I, along with Joe Orlando, hobby legend, our own Lou Blasi, XM fantasy baseball host, and our good friend John Mallory. We've been incredibly fortunate to write 8 books, and we've won 12 national awards with those 8 books. So we're really, really pleased. You can buy one book, you can buy the whole collection if you'd like, and they're on sale. You can go to tomzappalamedia.com and purchase a book. I don't know, periodically, I don't know what book is on sale. They put 1 or 2 books on sale every week. And I think you're going to love them if you don't already have them. We've gotten great reviews over the years with these books, and we're very, very blessed and fortunate. As you all know by now, we are in the midst of writing our final book for this series. Legendary Finds in Sports Collecting Treasures. Guys like Dan and all the auction houses, private collectors have been really, really great to work with putting this last book together that is going to be released at the National next year. So we're really pleased with it. Again, if you want to, get a copy of one of our other books, you can go to tomzappalamedia.com. All right, Danny, let's talk about, first of all, before we get into the upcoming auction, let's talk about the National. What were your thoughts on the National?
Incredible. I want to back up really quick. My buddy Eric, the Reclaim Customs, definitely go to his YouTube channel because he's so transparent on how he puts the cards together, and you see the process. So it's really neat. Yeah. So check that out. The National was over the top, sensory overload. I'm telling you, this industry, it's a bubble. It's going to explode. That's what people said in 2000. Yeah. It's a bubble. It's going to explode. 05, 08, 10, 12, 15. We're in 2026. I didn't hear that once. People are now getting it. They're understanding that the hobby is on fuego, on fire.
Well, you called it interesting. You call it. It is a hobby, but it really is more of an industry now than anything. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's just crazy what's happening.
It's incredible because you're right. It was a hobby. It's still a hobby to many.
Sure. But
now it's an asset class. I've heard of a couple people that have art collections where they're selling one of their pieces of art for $20 million. I overheard this is great. I overheard a conversation. A guy was in equities for 50 years, and he's in his 70s, and he still has bucket list cards he wants to get. These are in the 8-figure. These are in the 8-figure range, 7-8-figure range. He is going to liquidate a substantial percentage of his equities, and he's going to put them in the new asset class, baseball cards. Cards.
Well, Dan, you just touched upon what I think is the end statement, the summary of that bubble talk, because even though the industry has exploded, it seems to me there are 80% of the people out there who are not involved at all. And when the investment becomes part of it, when the collectors from other assets, classes, coins, art, whatever they're collecting, start to find value in this, and it comes in, we start tapping into that other 80%. I think this is just the withdrawal of the wave before the tsunami. I
agree with you. It's all about the ROI. People don't want to lose. If you'd like to lose and you want to write off, then go gamble.
But you know what's happening here, guys. And Lou, you're making a good point. But there's a segment. I'm going to use my guys, my investment guys that we use, that Ellen and I use. They, we talked about them. They know about our books. They know that I was a collector, that I'm still a collector. And they started learning. The business, the hobby. And guess what? They're making recommendations to people to make it part of your portfolio. But guess what's happened? They are getting into it themselves.
Yeah.
They're really getting into it. Yeah, they're getting into it themselves, which is
exciting.
Absolutely.
They're at 5:00. They clock out. They stop by Target to get milk, and guess what? All those blasters are on the rack. They pull a FIFA. They pull a baseball. They pull a. Next thing you know, they pull a $500 card.
Well, and you laugh, and it's really kind of weird. But I mean, if you have a decent collection, you've got some money there. And I'm going to use myself as an example. Lou, I just I bought myself a birthday present.
Mm-hmm.
I bought myself a 1971 Common Gear convertible awesome. that I drove in college. You know where I got the money to pay for that? I did not have to tap into my bank account. I didn't have to tap into our investment account. I sold a card. I sold one card and paid for the car. And I mean, I'm just what I'm saying. The point I'm trying to make is that if you really look at it as an alternative asset class, it really can become lucrative for you. I guess that's the question.
All right. So Dan, how does someone walk into that room? How does someone walk into the alternative asset type of room and start to invest in it? And we know what we want in terms of a hobby. We know what we want in terms of nostalgia and love of it all. But if we want to do investment, where do we start?
They got to start small, and they got to get dirty, and they got to learn it on their own, and they got to just spend a little money, open up a couple of packs. Biggest thing, we always go back to this: buy low pop vintage, and buy what you love, and don't chase the card. If you chase the card buying boxes and cases, you're dead.
I totally agree with you, man. Totally agree with that.
You might as well just play the lottery. So if you want the card from that issue, buy the card. If it's a 1 of 1 and you can't afford it, get a 1 of 10 or whatever it is. Buy the card. Buy the autographed Cooper flag.
Danny, you said a low pop vintage. All right, so Joe Smith may not be able to afford that low pop vintage.
Yeah.
Can he buy? I mean, is he still, to get his feet wet, doing okay buying a mid-range or a mid-graded vintage card? I don't know.
Great question.
PSA 4, T206. Pick someone. You know what I mean?
Get some Babe Ruth 33 Gaudies and PSA 2s. Get a PSA 7 Jordan. Get a Mint 9 PSA 9 Montana. Get a Bird Magic rookie and an 8. That realm of stuff in GOATs, get a Brady or get a Messi. Diversify with the GOATs. And then you can also play with investing in Roman Anthony or this Joshua Baez, or you never know. I mean, this guy's 0 for 17 in his last 17 at bats. You never know. He could turn it on.
Of course.
Maybe that's a great time to buy. And look at Cooper Flagg. I love the signed cards of Cooper Flagg. They're really affordable in the 1,000 to 2,000 range. I'd buy a couple of those, put him aside. He's going to crush it. Come NBA season, you could make money. And the best part about this is that look what you're making in the bank. You are your own stockbroker. If you could make 10%, 10 times a year, you're doubling your money. And you're crushing what a stockbroker is going to get. It's different times.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
And the lines that were around the corner, Joe Drellick and Jim Ryan and Brian Coppola, they did a phenomenal job. And look, if you build it, they will come. Like it was out the door down near the highway. I had to get out of my car and walk about a mile.
Yeah, exactly. That opening
Unreal.
day, it was like a mile. It was a mile long. It was unbelievable. We are chatting with Dan Wulkin. Danny, you have an auction coming up. Let's talk about the upcoming auction. When does it open up? I know you have some little tidbits that you're going to show us.
Yep, it actually opens up September 10th and it ends Saturday, September 26th. And instead of talking about what's in there, we can talk, but I can show you a 38 Gaudi Joe D and an 8. You got the M101 Joe Jackson blank back from 1916, a PSA.
That's a great card.
7, which is gorgeous. Good old Adrian Cap Anson. The Allen. Look at this. Allen and Ginter, PSA 8. Look how beautiful that is. Jimmy Fox. We've got the Babe Ruth Aero Service Station, which is an extremely rare version of a Ruth card. Look at this.
Oh.
The Mick and a PSA 7. The rookie and a PSA 7.
Wow. Look at the eye. Now talk about eye appeal on that.
Yeah. 53 Mantle in an 8.
Another great one.
And then we're back to the Maze in a 7.
Good stuff, man.
And then a hand-cut Ruth. I know you like the old stuff, the M101, Walter Johnson, but look at these. Look at how beautiful the N173s. This is King Kelly. I mean, you never see these come up. King Kelly. Charles Comiskey.
Oh, God.
Good stuff, man.
Buck Ewing. And then John Ward. And then to talk about some other sports, look at this. It's the Greater Milwaukee Open ticket. This is Tiger Woods' pro debut. And it's interesting because it's been graded by DGA, which is I would say semi in their infancy stage, and I'll talk to you about the owner of that company. Heritage has an 8 in the auction. This is a 9. And they estimate their 8 to go for about $20K. This is a pop 1. This is a 9. DGA grades a lot of this. They're known for grading star packs. So that's someone to have on your show. A cello pack with Rose on front from 1970. And last, a really cool Just So tobacco.
Very cool.
So a lot of sets. We have a 52 top set, 53, 55. Just a ton of sets, ton of unopened.
Dan, I got a call today that I'm going to refer him to you. Guy, it's an old friend actually called me up. He says, I forgot. He says, I have a complete 1964 top set that is in immaculate condition.
Beautiful.
So I told him he's going to be calling you because I said, I asked him, he says, the Mantle, the Maze, the Barrett, he says, those cards are just in pristine condition. So he's going to be calling you.
I love that. No, that's great. I mean, and people say, this stuff's going to dry up. there's so many basements that still have this stuff, and it's
Yeah.
not like they're printing more of it, but they're finding it, and it's being left to the grandsons and the sons and daughters, and it's just incredible how you still to this day see new material pop up that's fresh to the hobby.
I'm surprised at how much the unopened packs haven't dried up. There's still a steady supply of unopened packs.
They still pop up. Man.
Steve Hart finds some of the most incredible. That guy is unreal. Him and Phil at BBC.
It's crazy. They still pop up, Louis. You're absolutely. Who knows?
There doesn't seem to be an end to it.
No.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
All right, we are chatting with Dan Wulkin from Memory Lane Auctions. Dan, I want to get into some of the stuff we talked about, and I want to get your. I know how you feel about it. You've mentioned it before, but advice to young collectors on buying, on speculation. What are your thoughts?
For young collectors, I first want to preface this with: do not buy those cases, those bulletproof looking cases, and carry your cards around with you. Get a backpack, lock it up, put a little lock on it, because you're only asking for trouble if you're going to be buying these cases, because you're showing that you have high, value collectibles. Yep. And if you're 12, 13, 14 years old, someone could steal that stuff.
Great piece of advice. Great piece of advice.
Yeah. And there are a lot of kids that are, buying into the whatnot channels and stuff. Have fun, but don't exceed your limit. And parent, I'm sure the kids are asking their parents. I witnessed a kid go to my friend's store in Beverly Hills, and it is what it is. It's a very rich area. And he's on the phone with his mom, and he says, what's my budget? What can I spend? And she said, well, you cannot exceed $2,000. I got $2 a week for allowance. And at 13, when I was making money in cards, I told my mom and dad, I don't want my allowance anymore. $2. If I wanted Air Jordans, they said, you can have them, no problem. Go mow the lawn and shovel the driveway.
I was going to say, what did you have to do for that $2?
$2,000. And they're buying these chrome, opening up these basketball boxes. 13-year-old kid. How much is that? It's $1,200. All right, give me two.
Well, I mean, we talked about that, at the National. I mean, it was kind of sad. I mean, I saw kids sitting there on the floor, opening up boxes, looking for that chase card, and the cards were going through their hands and then just throwing them on the floor and walking away.
Right. They'll throw them out. They'll give them away. They just want the big card. And I used to open up boxes. I would have my 5,000 count box. I wouldn't do my homework from school, and I'd organize all the rows of cards. I wouldn't throw out Bump Wills or Frank White or Bucky Dent.
Exactly.
I'd keep all that.
We are chatting with Dan Wulkin. Hey, by the way, I want to talk about East Coast sports marketing along with eBay. Are pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show, the Philly Show, from Friday, September 25th to Sunday, September 27th. Held at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center Halls, ABD&E, at 100 Station Ave, Oaks, Pennsylvania. The Philly Show is bigger and better than ever. Shop over 1,000 tables from 300 of your favorite hobby dealers from across the country, displaying sports cards and collectibles from the 1800s to the present day. Visit the new Pokemon TCG section of over 150 tables. Major sports auction houses and third-party grading and authentication companies are on hand to assist your collecting needs. The Philly Show, by the way, is family-friendly, and all kids 10 and under get in for free. Military, by the way, gets 50% off. Autographed guests to include current Philadelphia Eagles Cooper DeJean, Dallas Goedert, and Brandon Graham, baseball greats Jim Thome, Roger Clemens, and basketball Hall of Famers Julius, Dr. J. Irving, Allen Iverson, and many, many more. For more information, go to thephillyshow.com, phillyshow.com, and remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all started. Dan, you guys go to the Philly Show, right?
We don't do that. We haven't done that in many years.
Great show. I'll tell you, man. Rico and I were there last, I don't know, 2 shows ago. They
Yeah.
have done a spectacular job with that show. You should
Yeah,
send Lewis out there. You guys should
Yeah,
send
Joe's
Lewis out
doing
there.
it. Joe's doing it, right? Joe Drellick. That's their show.
That's Joe's show. Yep. Joe does
Okay.
it. But I was going to say, you should send Lewis out there.
Yeah, I might check it out. I'm gonna talk to JP and stuff because we're starting to do. Oh, you know what? You know it's going to be a great topic for another time. There is a show every day. There is a show down here in Lake Forest on a Tuesday. There's a show in Placentia. There's a show in San Diego. There's a show in LA. It's incredible how many promoters are getting into this just to do shows. There's not enough show. It's incredible.
And you know something? And every one of these shows gets phenomenal turnouts. Phenomenal turnouts.
Right.
If
you're a promoter and you did concerts back in the day, like the guy that promotes Dan Bliss, who does a great job at promoting those front row shows in 17 cities, you jump into this arena and start promoting a show because you'll sell out in a New York second.
Danny, what about the international market? I mean, I was very impressed with on the second floor in that Hall G, I think it was Hall G, the international companies that were there. This industry has exploded across the world.
I don't hear much internationally. I know that PSA is opening up in a lot of different countries. I think Germany and in Japan. And I think Pokemon is so huge.
And FIFA. And FIFA.
Yep. And FIFA, a lot of the soccer/football that they call it. A lot of the Messis, Ronaldos, Mbappes, and all those names, people are starting to, the audience pull, with the World Cup, people are starting to get into anything and everything. And soccer is hot, especially with those names, Lamine Yamal, all these cards, but it's incredible. You can't even touch them. You got these one-of-ones going for $100,000. Like it's
unbelievable.
And we've always said, probably in the last decade, we've had this conversation where the new stuff is going to have a bubble and it's going to dry up. It's just going to be a huge downfall, in people's collections. This stuff just keeps going up and there's more and more buyers and VC people. And now it's an asset, a new asset class to an investment portfolio. People are going to start earmarking millions from these $1 billion funds. They're going to earmark millions into this stuff. It's incredible. I really never thought I would see the way we've been seeing this industry.
Yeah, and we talk about rarities and manufactured rarities, and there's a natural part of this that I don't think the card companies are taking advantage of. You looked at Bayer's 3-homer day. You looked at the Field of Dreams game with Schwarber's home run, or Cal Raleigh's 60th home run last year. This is where I started to think about it. Why not print out 100 cards, get them signed, and put them back? Start putting them in the packs. And
it's interesting that you say that. They've actually been doing that for a long time, and it's called Topps Now. Okay. And the day someone does that, when Baez hit the 3 home runs, the next day they give you 24 to 48 hours to go on Topps.com and buy as many as you want of the regular card. But guess what? It's always the chase. What are you chasing? You're chasing the one of Baez that has a piece of dirt from the field. It's got a piece of the ball, one of the balls that was cut up and put in the card. So you're chasing those parallel cards, and they're doing, and then they divulge the print run. So some have only printed like no one wanted X player, so they printed 736. I bought Ohtani cards. I couldn't believe this. I bought the Ohtani cards when he hit, what was his 50-50 card. Right. So I bought, 400 of those. The print run was like 200,000. That's how popular this guy is. So they are doing that, and it's incredible. It's a license to print money where they just print the card that day from the previous day of the accomplishment.
Yep.
And then they just let people buy 5 at a time, 20 at a time. You could buy hundreds at a time.
Unbelievable. So, hey, Danny, before we take a break, You know, we've talked about this. We've talked about it with you. Signed cards are really, really now like the way to go. I mean, signed cards 20 years ago, it was like the worst thing you could do. Now
You're right.
now a signed card, man, is the way to go. Is that going to continue, you think?
I think it's in an infancy stage. And I'll tell you what, we had a Marino 10-10 at the at the National. It was a show before that I was selling for 70 grand. We ended up putting it in the auction and it got like $82,000. Dan Marino signed auto 10, PSA 10. I think a PSA 10 is 6 or 7 grand. I mean, good luck in getting it cracked, getting Marino to sign it and getting it back in a 10-10. But you've got the Bird Magic Irving card, you know, the Bird Magic rookie with Irving.
The rookie card.
Triple sign, boom. Those are going through the roof. The best buy right now, I think we have some PSA 9 Marinos with a 10 auto. Those are only $2,500. You go to a 10 and it's 40x. So I think, you know, there's definitely, you know, still room for that stuff to continue. Rookie cards, signed rookie cards, 69 Jacksons. But guess what? The players are starting to get smart about this. Yeah. Hey, if you want me to sign your rookie card instead of $100, now it's $1,200.
Right. Good point. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Dan is in the house. We have one more segment. Hang in there, and we shall be right back.
Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Okay, we are back for our last segment. Dan Wulkin from Memory Lane Auctions. Before we get back to Danny, I want to talk about our good friend, Michael Variali, and his unique business model, Sports Cards, the Hobby. Michael takes pride in educating collectors about the ins and outs of the hobby and will advise you on making sound decisions based on your collecting needs. You can follow them on Instagram at Sports Cards, the Hobby, or on Facebook. And while you're there, check out their super rare collection of unique Ken Griffey Jr. signed rookie cards and others. To learn the value of your collection and event schedule, visit sportscardsthehobby.com or call or text 631-339-0900. That's 631-339-0900. Educating, buying, selling, and trading is Sports Card, the Hobby. Hey, Danny, I want to ask you about, listen.
First of all, Dan, you got to unmute yourself for me, please.
Oh.
Mute. Okay, I am back.
I can't do it when you do it.
I didn't mute it. That's weird.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to me at the beginning of the show. I got a little notification said, "Hey, you're muted. You got to restart or some damn thing." Anyway, Dan, obviously there's been some frustration about the backlog with the third-party grading company, PSA, and now SGC. I know Nat and his gang have committed to investing $200 million in infrastructure over the coming months. And hiring 1,000 people. Are you guys seeing anything as far as a little relief with the bottleneck with PSA and SGC?
Here and there, but I think, it's a great problem to have. What you have control over, you have control over, and what you don't have control over, you don't have control over. It's that simple. I think that because our industry is exploding, even raising that price to $80 a card or $80 plus a card right now, you still have people sending in cards at $80 a card that might be worth $40 because they want their card in a PSA holder. But, have we seen relief a little bit? But it is what it is. And I think that people can't be mad because when there is huge demand, it takes a little bit of time to assess what's going on. And you can't just pull anyone off the street to do the job. You want to pull someone off the street that's going to ruin a card after it's cracked out, and then they're on the they're on the hook for, $100,000 card. So they have to tread slowly and hire the right people. Yeah, they're going to be investing more money, but they've been investing money, over and over, and they've been growing at such a rapid pace, that they're all they're doing is they're trying to keep up, and it just takes a lot of time. So I know there are people that are frustrated. I've got like 50 orders that are still in there. I've got like 15 orders with autograph stuff. I've learned to just be patient. When it gets there, it gets there. And
So do you get flack for I don't know, I guess that's probably not the right word to use.
Sure.
But from a consigner, I give you a card, I want it to go into your auction as soon as possible, and you say, something, it's not going to be in auction for another 6 months or 8 months. Do you get flack from consigners on that?
Here's the thing. You always have, I call it the 1-2 rule. You always have one or two people that are mad that we close our auction at 5 in the morning East Coast time because it still stays open. When cards are submitted, you have the one or two people that are really, really mad at you. What the hell's going on? Why isn't my card back? I gave it to you 2-3 months ago. They don't understand the whole situation with the backlog. They just want the me. I want my card and I want it back, or I want it to go in this auction. They don't understand. And those are really the people that we don't want to deal with, because you really at the bottom, people will call me and say, hey, are my cards back? What did I get? Trust me, when cards come back and I've submitted stuff for people, I want that out of my office same day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call them and tell them what they got, or I'm just going to overnight it to them. But there are only a couple people that just don't understand, the realm of our hobby. It's incredible. They just don't understand, what's going on. And I think with Nat, it's a smart move in putting money into the infrastructure. And I think time will tell. And I think he will have they're all about solutions. Don't you think they want to generate more income? I mean,
sure.
I want to, if it was my company. So, they just have to hire more people, what they're doing. And it will, I say by the end of the year, I think we'll be back to normal, and they'll be, be back at the price point where, we can submit a bunch of stuff. Autographs haven't been really affected. Tickets haven't been affected. Magazines haven't been affected. It's only the card side. So people also have a misnomer right now where they're saying, wow, everything is shut down. No,
right.
The cards are, because they're some odd million behind. If they weren't number one, they wouldn't have millions of cards behind.
Right.
How much of the blame pie does Pokemon get for this backlog?
Yeah, probably 60%. But I'll tell you, if it wasn't for PSA, people wouldn't be driving the cars they drive or the houses they live in. PSA has brought an enormous amount. Look at the card that you sold to get a car.
Yeah.
Get the Carmen Gia. I mean, it really is, they created something that has saved a lot of people and has really added to their net worth and their wealth.
Very good. All right, Lou, we forgot insurance, baby. We got to talk about insurance and our friend Tom Finkelmeyer.
Never forget insurance, Tom. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., who is the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting, and with a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management. Tom covers every aspect of your collectibles insurance needs. Unlike some companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend John Tobby of JT Sports has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion.
Hey, Danny, before we let you go, 2 things. Women's sports. How big of an impact is women's sports having in this?
We definitely, my wife and I definitely want to go watch a WNBA team, but not much. It hasn't caught on, the traction. They keep trying, and it really hasn't caught on. Just not a ton of demand. I haven't asked for one. I haven't been asked once for like a Caitlin Clark card or a Sophie Cunningham or a Cameron Brink card. I mean, their market's there, but it's very, very small.
All right. I guess that.
I got a couple quick things I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to start something with you, really fun. That like I always have the background. So if you want to ask your viewers a question, I think I want to each time I'm on, I want to pull something and give it away. And I have this statue that was a giveaway at Dodger Stadium of Sandy Koufax. So I think that's the first thing that, I was talking to JP.
Oh, that would be very cool.
That would be cool if we, give away something from our desk. So this is going to be the first thing.
It's very, very cool. Yeah, Lou,
Dodger Stadium.
Lou, you know what we'll do? We'll figure a way to do that, to get the word out, and maybe the first person that comments or something like that, or a question, we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so maybe for next time we'll do that. Yeah. And then listen, I don't know why you did this, but you left your shoe at the last time.
Holy cow!
I gotta get that back to you.
Is that Bob Lanier's?
It's a size 80, and the reason I bring it up is because we're doing a show September 19th called Got Soul, and it's pretty amazing. At the LA Convention Center, and when you walk in, to the right's going to be a card show, and to the left are going to be all the sneakerheads, and like luxury items. So it's kind of a cool one-day show. September 19th, we're going to be at. So if anybody's in LA, come by.
All right. When does the auction open and when does it close?
September 10th. It closes on the 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a 15-minute rule starting then. You have to have your bids in by 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can reach us at www.memorylaneinc.com. If you have any questions or consignments you want to talk about, 877-606-5263. Ask for Dan. I'll help you out, and love being on the show.
Thank you, brother. We love you. Say hi to JP and the gang there. Great show, as usual. Louis, great job. To our viewers and listeners, again, thank you for all the support. We love you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. And with that being said, happy collecting.
Thanks.